Hey everybody, it's Margitt. It's week 6. I'm still out here in Santa Fe on my journey from from motherhood to matriarch. And I'm transitioning in a time, so I have a lot of time on my hands. So I come out here for a couple months and I'm at week 6. And I really wanted to share, it was a really transformative week for me. I knew shit was gonna hit the fan pretty soon. I had a lot of resistance around week 3 where I kind of wanted to go home, but I knew that it was gonna get real and I was gonna get the answers that I was looking for. I was gonna get the light that I was looking for. And so I continue to stay. I'm going to be talking about Vedic astrology, and I'm going to talk about my time at Star Dreaming and my experience at Chimayo, New Mexico on this video. So when I came out here the first couple weeks, it was great, just getting acclimated to the land, really taking good care of myself, putting that energy towards self-care, being out in the sun and just really quieting down and really beginning to connect with all these different subtle energies, without all that distractions of holding the home or being in a home and having to take care of the family. So all of that was coming toward me, and I was really, really integrating all of that, and really, it was really, really an amazing experience. And then around week 3, I started having resistance where I really wanted to go home. So I knew it was going to get serious. This is what I was here for. And I knew that I wanted to maybe see some healers or some therapists while I was here. Santa Fe is full of healers. This is where healers come to Santa Fe to get healed or to seek different therapies. And so I knew that I was going to maybe try some of this stuff, but I was really just kind of waiting for it to come to me and to show up instead of me looking out, because that always works for me. And to kind of just be with myself for a while. So around week 3, there was a lot of hits of Vedic astrology. I kept hearing Vedic astrology over and over again within a very short period of time. So I knew that that was something that I was kind of like intrigued by. So it was kind of like, finally after I've been hearing it over and over again, this woman had mentioned an astrologer that she had seen that she really liked, and then I called that person, and then that person was in India, and then they recommended somebody else. So I knew that there was going to be some kind of way like that. It wasn't going to be just plopped in my hand or somewhere on Google. So I got the name of Jonathan Cruz. He is a well-respected Vedic astrologer out here in Australia, has been practicing for many, many years. And I had a phone call with him, and I emailed him specific questions that he had wanted before I met with him, so he was really prepared when I met. I have had modern astrology and Vedic astrology. There's 2 different schools of thought, different philosophies. I'm not biased toward either one. I use them as tools, and this was just something that that was coming to me that I wanted to seek out. So I don't have any bias against either or. But it was really interesting because I'm moving into this new planet of Saturn and a lot of transition. So not only am I going from motherhood to matriarch, I'm transitioning into this new planet of Saturn. And Saturn is all about obstacles and moving through obstacles and spiritual growth. And I was like, oh boy, another 20 years of moving and growing, and he's like, no, you can't look at it in that way. You look at it as obstacles are like illusions, and they're put in there just so that you can grow, but there's a lot of abundance if you can get through those teachings of those obstacles, and there's a lot of availability for spiritual growth. So I felt like that path that was ahead of me was kind of like, the fog was kind of lifting, and there's a lot of confirmation, new information for me. He also said that this was the time of persistence, action, being very disciplined, no more farting around, no more procrastination, which I'm very, very good at, and to really get down and dirty and to really start to streamline my life. Get rid of the extra weight, the extra frou-frou, and just really simplify my life. And I've heard this before. And so when I was thinking about all of those energies of action and discipline and blah, 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 that is just like so the sacred masculine. And for so long, I've been up here in the divine feminine with all of the teachings and the teachers that I've had, learning about the divine feminine. I really just ignored that sacred masculine part of myself. And now I feel like this is an opportunity to bring the sacred masculine in balance with the divine feminine. And when that is balanced, and that just becomes one. So that was very, very interesting, and I know that is a lot of work. It's not easy for me, and it's going to have to take a lot of work and consciousness. But I'm really excited for that thing, and I brought up the YouTube channel, and it's exactly what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm persistent and I'm taking action. And as a Gen Xer, this does not come easy. It takes me hours just to kind of figure out what how to videotape or how to upload, or making video after video after video, because I don't know how to edit it yet. And so it's been really challenging, but also in the same sense, it's been very exciting and empowering, because I'm learning a new technology and I get to share my story on this really cool platform. So I get it. I'm getting the taste of this, of what it means. And so he also wanted to know like where my Saturn was in astrophotography. So I've had astrophotography done before, but not in the Vedic astrology. And if anyone who knows about astrophotography, is they take that chart and they put it on a map. And so there's different lines of where these different planets and energies are. And so it was very interesting that the Saturn went through Sante Fe, New Mexico, and London, England, which I find so fascinating. And it is just no surprise why I chose Sante Fe during this transition, why I'm here on this land, in this energy of my Saturn, in this land of enchantment. We both started laughing. I mean, it was just such a divine humor. And it just put everything into place. It was just so fun to be with him and to laugh about it, and to know that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and to keep trusting the process. And London, England, and Glastonbury, and Avalon, and the Priestess, and the Essenes, and Stone Circles, and all of that. Glastonbury, I have read stories and books about it. It is a place of mystery for me. I'm always enchanted by that area. So that will be a place that I will be visiting again soon. So it was just putting everything into place. We even had a follow-up phone call out of his generosity. It was just because he wanted to know what my husband's birth dates were, and so we talked the next day, and it was beautiful. He didn't have to do that. He's totally a man of service, and just so grateful for that opportunity and for the confirmation and information that is making my path a lot lighter. So that was really cool. And then the next day I went to Star Dreaming, which I didn't want to do two things kind of back to back, but the appointment was changed, and I just kind of in the flow. And so I went to Star Dreaming. It is a place, I believe, that found me. I love different labyrinths, and I kind of look at different labyrinths wherever I go, especially if it's on sacred land like Sante Fe. And I found this where this man was creating these labyrinths and sacred geometries with stones and sculptures on this huge amount of land outside of Sante Fe. So of course I was just really drawn to it. And I was really excited that I was going. So the morning I was leaving, I could see this big purple rain cloud coming in. And I knew that I was driving I was going to drive right into it. And I just said, just stay in the flow. A little rain around here is so precious. And rain is not like the rain we get in Michigan, so I can handle the rain. And so I went into this small little gallery, small little room, to check in and to get a map and to kind of get a lay of the land. And it began to rain a little bit harder, and Dr. James Jareb answered the door, and he invited me in, and we had he gave me a map, and we had a conversation, and it was just a beautiful connection. He's a really amazing human being, and from his conversation, I I began to see little light bulbs within me start to illuminate from his story and from our conversation that we had together. So I just felt like being lit up and being so inspired. And I ended up going on the land. The rain had stopped. And I began to walk around one of the labyrinths, and I knew that that was not why I was here. I was really here to meet Dr. Jareb and to have that connection with him. And I really felt so complete after that. I felt so lit up and inspired. And my path even got even more light. I could see that there was going to be, that it was going to be okay, and it was just full of light. And so I'm just so grateful for that experience, so grateful for his calling to create Star Dreaming, so grateful for that rainstorm so that I could stay in there and have that conversation with him, and just for all of it. So it was a lot, those 2 days, and the last couple days I just kind of like wanted to be outside. I went to the 10,000 Waves, which was hot springs, which is literally 10 minutes from my door up in the mountains here in Santa Fe, and was able to relax into the hot waters. And then I went to Chimayo, which is a beautiful sacred site north of Santa Fe. And every time I drive north of here and go into those mountains, it's like I feel like I'm just being pulled. I feel I'm in just awe of them. And it's just a place where I could just be and just, it's magic for me. And so I went to Chimayo. I've been there several times. It's a place of prayer. People bring pictures of their loved ones that are sick and different sacred objects that they leave there for prayer. So it's a place of hope and love, and it's got beautiful energy. And I went there years ago because I figured, why would these Spaniards, 500 years ago, put these little churches on a little block of land? There must have been something really juicy there, and it was the Native Americans knew this was sacred land, and the Spanish came and put the churches on them. But it's a very sweet. It's still got beautiful energy, and there's a little church there. It's called St. Nino, that is dedicated to children, and it's the most colorful, playful little church that I've ever seen. I've never seen a church that was dedicated to children. So there's little cherubs and birds, and everything is just really, really colorful. And I love that place. It's just so sweet, and you could just feel the mother there. It was just really protected and nurturing. And that's just what I was really, really calling after such a big week of this beautiful illumination for myself. So that was it. I am still digesting. I know that that's why I'm here. And I'm so grateful that I get to share this story with you, and hope it inspires you in some way. I feel that that I'm doing this for myself, but I'm also, the ancient grandmothers say that when you're doing this healing for yourself, you're healing 7 generations above you and below you. And so I feel like this is something way bigger than myself, that I'm doing this and having this courage to do this for more than myself. And even though I know I'm doing it for myself, it just feels so big. So thank you for allowing me to share the story, if you're still here, supporting me and being on this journey with me, because it's just been amazing. So I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Mwah.